Greetings and salutations. I'm Alicia, and this is the Sense Only podcast. This is the podcast for people who are tired of the noise of the world, the distractions of the world, and also the disconnection in the world. Today. I did not plan to do a solo episode today at all, and I was really fighting the feeling to actually not film anything at all. I've had quite a disappointing day / week regarding this second episode. So basically, I'm forcing myself to show up for yourselves and also for, I guess, myself, and also for what I said in terms of the previous episodes, where I'm showing up for the fact that the bigger mission is for my beloved angel son, who's no longer here with us. This is going to be a very raw episode. It's going to be a very real episode. I have not planned, because this is not the episode that was supposed to happen today. This today was supposed to be an interview, and the interview did happen. I could be here in a space where I could be blaming the tech, but as they say, you can't blame the tech. You can't blame the car, you have to blame the driver, you know? I'm going to have to sit here and own those issues. So, it's one of them ones where you just have to just laugh through it, otherwise you'll cry. So this is me just kind of talking to you from raw emotion. It's settled a little bit because this was a couple of hours ago. So I'm actually going to share the story of what happened. And you know what? The main part of this story, I guess, is to share the learning, for me to find the learning and to share the learning. And I guess we will be achieving what I've set out to achieve with this podcast, because we're going to build a community. So I guess within the community, there's not going to be perfection. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be mistakes. And we all sit with each other, go through it, and I guess demonstrate grace. I'll let you come to the conclusion of the reason why everything has happened and why such a random episode is happening. This episode was supposed to be, it's a big extravaganza in my brain. Very deep. It's going to be a very deep episode. Granted, the topic is still going to happen. However, it's just not going to be coming out when you see this. And everything happens for a reason. And I'm somebody who always says everything happens for a reason. So today, I'm humbly having to sit in that. So this episode was supposed to be about the topic of people who tried to take their own lives and thankfully failed, because they lived to tell the story and teach the rest of us and help others. So in terms of this planned episode, I'm going to share with you the amount of things that have gone wrong for this episode to not happen today. So firstly, there was going to be 3 elements to this episode, i.e. 3 different people talking from 3 different angles. The first person was supposed to be a gentleman who I felt like his voice would be really valuable in this conversation, because he is the father of somebody who's trying to take their own life. The second person was going to be an actual person who's tried to take their own life several times. And the third person was going to be a therapist. Okay, so I had all 3 people lined up for me to interview all of them. Not on the same day, different times, but nonetheless, it was all scheduled. So, cut a long story short, the father, he just got too busy for him, as he's had to drop out. But like, he's dropped out permanently. Like, there's no later date scheduled. So I'm like, okay, I'm very much somebody I get to a space of acceptance very quick. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, because I've still got the 2 other angles and 2 elements that could bring a really powerful episode. So then the person who's trying to take that action themselves was due to come here to the studio last Monday. We're in London. There's things called tube strikes that happen. So for anyone who doesn't know what the tube is the underground train system in London that majority of people use, even people who are car owners. I have a car and I still use the tube, literally, because central London, very congested, very busy, so it just makes sense for and expensive to park, expensive to actually drive in that area and get charged to go into the central zone. The person, he came from outer London into London on a national train, but when he got in, he didn't realise that there was actually a strike on that day for the underground system, i.e. no tube, he can't get over here to the studio. So had to get to a space of acceptance again, put a whole X through that, take the L. I was like, it's okay, it's fine, we'll reschedule. So that person is now rescheduled to interview Monday coming. Fantastic, beautiful, wonderful. I can put a pin in that one. So the third person was the therapist. Now, I have to laugh. So the therapist, we scheduled the interview. We actually had the interview this morning. Beautiful interview, covered all the things. Great, wonderful setup for when I actually interviewed the actual person in 3 days' time. It didn't record. So, I mean, this is what you'll learn about me. And now we're building this community. You're going to learn this about my personality. I am in a space, and I'm sure a lot of you can understand how I'm feeling right now. I really want to cry. So therefore, I'm just going to laugh. I'm going to channel more positive energy to just keep laughing and keep smiling through it. So focused positivity right now, because I can't handle getting that sad about it. And I'm trying to, at the end of the day, I can't control that. We can't control it. So I keep reminding myself, if you can't control it, just why stress yourself out? So this is what's happened. As you can imagine, when I found out that we have no recording, the feeling. Thankfully, I have a small clique of wonderful people in my world who know me so well, who know me better than I know myself, who know how to talk to me with these certain situations. So thankfully, I got on the phone immediately to hear a safe voice. And one of these people is mine. Not only is bestie in my life, I also have the added bonus blessing of the fact that she's also my cousin. So it's amazing. I spoke to my cousin and she was wonderfully the voice of reason and delivered what she needed to deliver. We've worked out that this is clearly divine intervention, especially for me and my personality. I'm a Virgo, for what you all know I'm a Virgo, because you'll see from the previous episodes, I launched this podcast on my birthday, Virgo season. If you don't believe in that, that's fine. But for those of us who do, you'll totally understand what I'm saying. Very much perfectionist. Also detail orientated. So the fact that we have no recording, I'm like, that was out of my power. But the point is, so many things have gone wrong. So many things have got in the way of me creating that episode at this time. So we looked into it and we said, why? Why has this happened? And we worked out that part of the mission of this podcast is to build a community. And because I'm the one who's setting up this podcast, i.e. leading this community, I guess you all need to learn about me, you know? Yeah. So this is just a raw episode of and learning that not everything's perfect, not everything's shiny, not everything's gonna go smooth. So I guess at the same time as learning about me, probably learning about starting a podcast as well for those who have this as an ambition. You've already learned it goes wrong for everybody. So walk along with me, folks. Walk along with me, people. You know what? At the end of the day, in the first episode, I said it was going to be a rocky road. I didn't know the rocky road was going to kick in this quick. Here we are. And the learning curve that I have experienced, especially in the past week, I think since launching last week, I put in the episode out last week, I've learned a lot. I can say I've learned so much about podcasting, new tech. I have not had to deal with technology for, like, on this level in terms of new tech for a good amount of years. And the main thing is I've learned so much about myself. Give thanks. When I say the evolution in the past week has been real. As a side note, I can say, as somebody who's actually I had so much fear in terms of starting a podcast, just not even so much starting a podcast, just putting myself out there in the world. I can now say, being on the other side of it, not deeply on the other side, as you know, it was a week ago. I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad you're here with me. And I'll definitely recommend it to all of you. Please put yourself out there. I don't know what this episode is going to be titled. I don't even think that we're talking about one specific subject. This episode is not planned, as I said. But there's so much things happening. I would definitely say, whatever your dreams are, go for it. Don't let fear. Do not let fear stop you or get in your way. Please find the courage and move forward. Yeah, so now I'm at a space where I guess I'm laughing through the madness. I'm laughing through the trials. I'm laughing through the tribulations. I'm laughing through the challenges, because what else can we do? You know? So this is you learning about me. This is me learning about me. Watching me learn about me. This is you learning about you. We're all learning together. And we're all pulling together. I did not know. I don't want to cry. I promise I wouldn't be one of them, but I didn't promise. Never understood people who go and pick up a phone or pick up a camera, press record, and then start bawling on the internet. Never understood that. Weird to me. And I really don't want to be one of them people. I've lost my train of thought. I never knew that I would be experiencing such a level of vulnerability with this podcast. I knew it was, I guess, very exposing, but at the same time, I didn't know the feelings that I would be feeling. I didn't know I was brave enough to actually present myself this vulnerable in front of the world, but we're here. And I'm doing it, and I know that in hindsight, it will feel good. This had to happen. I didn't want this to just be a podcast where it's just me talking. Just me every episode by myself talking. My plan is to bring you new insights, deep conversations, new learning, different ways of us connecting to not only ourselves as individuals, but also as ourselves as a community, also the world that we live in. You know, we're living through such interesting times, is the best way I could put it. I see that we need places to pull together as people. I'm not sure what trajectory we're on in terms of the world, but one thing I know is that we need each other. We're all humans, we're all social creatures, and the world is getting to a place where there's a lot of people who are getting very isolated. So this is me showing up to play my little part in, you know, bringing us all back together. So I guess this has presented itself as the first few episodes, maybe just me talking. Feedback is amazing and it's wonderful. So you know what? Without the cliche of please comment, because it would be nice to know how you feel about me chatting on. I do promise, and I promise is a comfort to a fool. That aside, I can commit to you that there will be other people talking, won't be just my voice. However, if you welcome my voice, happy to step up also. So it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts, actually, in terms of how much you want to just hear from me, because I can keep talking. I've got the world of things to talk about. I've got the world of experience on so many different topics. I'm very worldly, shall we say, in the most positive way. I've experienced a lot of things in my time. And I'm happy to chat about it and talk about it. One of the things that my cousin brought to my attention that I'm sure there's a lot of people do want to hear about is the death of my son. I'm open to your questions. That episode is due to come in the future. I know that sounds so broad, but as you can imagine, as a parent who's outlived their child, it's not an easy topic, and I'm here trying to overly traumatize people. However, I am here to educate, share, and help others who, unfortunately, may have the same experience. At the same time, I don't want to make this podcast just about that. You know, there's many other things to talk about. There's many other things that we can share and converse. At the same time, I'm here. So I'm planning episode for the future. I've not got a date set for it. I don't know the approach yet. I don't know the angle we're going to go for yet. Because one of the things that I've very much experienced in the time of my son's demise is, as much as I'm the mummy who's experienced loss, one of the things I've learned about myself is that I'm always overly thinking about others. So even for me to share that information, I actually always feel bad for the person who has to hear it, which I know is wild and it's crazy, because people could be like, Leisha, why are you worrying about other people? It happened to you. But that's the person I am. So yes, it's I need to tread carefully and work out how that would be presented. Also, I don't want it to be in a vein of peril and strife. I can talk about it. I'm very comfortable talking about it. I think for that episode, I will get a guest host in to ask me the questions, because I am the mum, so I am the person. So I don't know what people want to ask me. So you know what? Maybe we could put that in the community. You know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to put that in the community. If you've got questions that you would like to ask me about my experience, what happened, how the journey has been since he passed until now, what my feelings are, what my thoughts are, I guess also for the future, what has really stood out. Just be specific. I'm speaking really broad. I welcome you to forward your questions. What would you like to know? Depending on how I feel after that, might do a live. If you don't get your questions in on time, you may be able to just talk to me directly if I feel strong enough to do a live or something after. Yeah, let me know what you would like to know. It's not easy. And there's many more things about me you'll learn along this journey, and I look forward to learning so much more about you all. And I thank you all for listening, and for those who are watching, for sticking here with me. Yeah, we're here. I'm showing up for you. This is part of why I'm sitting here right now talking to you. I said, you know what? I'm going to show up for you all every week. Whether there's a guest or not, I'm going to be here for you. So every Tuesday, tune in. I'm going to be here. There's no excuses. I've built out this studio in my house. I cannot complain about travel issues. Nothing. Literally, I just have to go down my stairs. We're here. Aye. Put my hands up. I surrender. I surrender. Clearly, the universe said, you. And the challenges continue, because the video just dropped out. Yeah. Okay. Today is my day. All right. So clearly the universe says, you need to just show up. You need to show up as yourself. You are enough. You have a gift. You need to do what you do. Girl, shine your light on the world. In the words of Mos Def, Umi said, shine your light on the world. Here I am, raw and real, shining my light on the world. Acceptance, acceptance, acceptance. We accept that it is what it is. And everything happens for a reason. And the Most High clearly said, the people need to learn about you first. You can bring on all the wonderful guests that we want, and they're all coming in the future. But for now, people want to learn about you. Who are you? And I will take time to introduce myself. So, here I am. Here I am. Thank you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do this, people. This is time for my outro, so I conclude. I'm your host, Alicia Mullings, and this is the Sense Only podcast. The podcast for people who are tired of the noise of the world, people who are tired of the distractions of the world, people who are tired of the disconnection of the world. This is where we quieten down, we tap in, we hold hands, and we try to make sense of it all. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed.